Mr. Saul Garcia with iPod. You can pod too.
Thank you, Margie. Working in accounting is rough. The long hours at your desk really start wearing you down. Just sitting there, your back starts getting out of place. It's important to find small distractions throughout the day to keep you going. More importantly, keep you sane. Especially if you're someone like me who has some version of ADD. You struggle to stay focused on one thing without some background noise to kind of keep you engaged. It's odd, I know. Now this ADD is completely self-diagnosed. I've never been to a doctor. So I self-medicate myself with podcasts on my iPhone. Podcasts are audio recordings that you can stream directly or download directly onto your phone and play on demand, similar to Netflix or Hulu for your TV. They usually take the form of a radio show or a freestyle conversation between friends. For those of you that have an iPhone, the podcast app looks like this. For those of you who don't have an iPhone, well, I only have 5 to 7 minutes, so I can't go through every version of the app. So you're on your own finding it, but I'm sure you can find it pretty easily. This podcast app has completely changed my life, providing the background noise I need to be productive. I'm here to raise awareness of the podcast app, as I am shocked by how many people are unaware of all the great content and information they can find just through this app on their phone. I usually have conversations with people that tell me about their favorite comedian, their favorite radio show personality, and I tell them, you can get the full show or more content by downloading a podcast, and I get what's a podcast? How does that work? It's very simple. You go into the app, you search through the various categories for something you may like, and when you find something you're interested in, you subscribe to it. The app will then update you on new available episodes and even download them directly to your phone if you set it to do so. One second. I would say 99% of them are free. And if you don't like it, you just unsubscribe and keep going forward and find something else that's new. It's a great way to build a nice content library, a library of content to be able to get through any workday or any task you may come across. It's also great because you can skip over all the commercials, unlike terrestrial radio. And it's great when things like work get in the way of your favorite show. You can just pause, go to the boss's office, see what they want, and resume right where you left off without losing any more content ever again. Personally, my library started back in 2008. I was going through a sports gambling phase, I like to call it, and I thought I was going to get rich on sports gambling, so I thought the internet could help me do so. So I just Googled gambling advice for upcoming football games, and I stumbled onto this podcast. Now, at the time, I didn't know what a podcast was, so I was on a computer full of viruses anyway, and I just downloaded it. And I was pleasantly surprised when I heard the results. It was a great show. The hosts were very humorous, had a different perspective that I hadn't heard on regular talk show radio. I went ahead and kept downloading that particular show, and I was hooked on this podcast thing. So I thought, what else is there? I went back into the App Store, found a comedic podcast, I found a business news one, I even found one that gave dating advice. Now that one didn't help me out too well. Neither did the gambling one. I didn't make any money either. So when you're looking for podcasts, go ahead and just use it for entertainment or information. Don't try to get any advice from it. It doesn't go so well. And at the time, I would have loved if I had been in Toastmasters and someone gave a quick speech about how podcasts are fun and informative and avoided me the hassle of having to find out on my own. But you guys are lucky. So you get the idea. There's something out there for everyone. Whatever your interests are, go ahead and listen and branch out into different things. You can learn, you can be entertained. Now, being a listener is fun, but I always like to think of the numbers and business sides of things, and how can I make money off of this podcasting? I've narrowed it down to you got to have speaking talent, and you got to be an interesting person in order to have a shot at creating something someone would want to listen to. So I struggle in those areas, but I throw it out to you guys to lead the way. This room is full of interesting and talented people, and you guys can make a killing on podcasts. And if you need a co-host, I'm here for you. How do you do this? All you need is some microphones, recording software. You record a few shows, upload it to a podcast server, and hopefully you get millions of downloads. Once that happens, you have created a value in your audio space where you can sell the advertising. You take the profits, create a studio for yourself, then you recruit more talent to create more podcasts to build more advertising revenue. Once you get those profits, you go on tour, sell live podcast shows in theaters and clubs, and make even more money. You can create your own podcast empire. Well, I hope this has informed you on the world of podcasting, and you use it to your own benefit, whether for entertainment or creating a new revenue stream for yourself. Whatever route you choose, I know you'll have fun with it. So now you can pod too. Thank you.